Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me. We had a community conversations tonight, and our topic was financial stress. And so I just want to do a quick recap video for that. First, we had a special speaker, Paul Nilsson, was here. And if you have any questions about the recap, you're welcome to reach out to him. And with questions, he's willing to work with folks. Also, um, the same could be true with Phil Cannon and Amanda Cannon. They have also expressed interest with helping guide people working with financial stress. And so I will put in the comments a link to the documents that the Nottoway Valley High School students made for us tonight. They had a needs versus wants worksheet that you can look at. And also some ways to save money and establish an emergency fund. And so thank you to the students for making those handouts for us. We talked about just among us as a group, there was a variety of, some people felt no financial stress right now, others feel a lot of financial stress, and then there were some in the middle. And a variety of things can cause financial stress. We talked about that income can vary, or you can suddenly lose your job, or have unexpected expenses that come up that also sometimes just the logistics of getting your budget set correctly, particularly when you don't have much income or you have something new, like you've just moved somewhere or had a life change or relationship change, something like that can cause financial stress. Also, we can sometimes compare ourselves with others and not be content, and that can cause financial stress. Or similarly, when our expectations are just too high for what we think we ought to be able to have and do. And so some of the advice that was shared was that we all, to reduce financial stress, can just sit down with our household or alone and think through what is my income and actually write it down. And then what things do I absolutely need? So like going back to this document that the students made, what is required? Your home, your utilities, transportation, what things are required? What things are not required that could be cut? Can you cut expenses? They gave examples of like certain extra things that you might have. The students made quite a list of, eating out a lot, expensive coffee, newest phones, brand name clothes, all this streaming subscriptions, things like that you might be able to cut. You could also perhaps change your insurance, talk with your insurance provider and see if there are some changes that you could make with your deductibles and such to reduce expenses. And then make a budget with that and set goals, and then work toward those goals and actually write them down. And as you begin to meet goals, it feels good. They also mentioned tracking your spending, even with your cash. Sometimes people don't track their cash spending, so that you can be disciplined and make strides. Also practice humility. Understand I can't afford everything. You have to say no to your children sometimes, and be able to cut back on. So you have to make choices that can be difficult. So be humble about that. Be careful with credit. Right now, credit's very easy to obtain, but it's hard to pay off. And to communicate, not have secrets in your household, and also to communicate with people that are working with you financially. So maybe communicate with your lenders. One of the questions was, what if you get upside down in a loan and like your car is worth less than what you owe on it? What can you do when you can't really afford even the payment anymore? And the first was recommended was to talk with your lender, and perhaps your lender will work with you because it costs them money to repossess things, and they'd rather work with you to get the money that they're owed. So talk to your lender for the first thing. And you might have to think about, is there anything that I have, any property that I could sell? Can I downsize something? Can I refinance? But to kind of be creative to solve the problem. One of the things that was brought up is on the sheet that the students made was this setting up this 50, 50, 30, 20 rule. And that's fine. It may work, but you can also adjust those numbers. And that there are some times that you can't pay 30% going to your wants. Maybe 100% has to go to your needs. And so to be able to look at that realistically, talk with people if you need help setting up a budget. And remember that there are many places that you can make payments to, like to hospitals, to doctors' offices. Sometimes you can pay even your utilities or your rent maybe more often, like every other week instead of every month. That might make it fit better with your cash flow. But to talk to the people that you owe money to and to get a plan, to not feel like you're all alone. And it's amazing what we can do if we have some discipline. And so discipline's not a negative thing, but rather it is a way that you're making choices for what you want to do with the money that you're the steward of and with all those possessions. And then finally, we talked about just to remember that sometimes when we feel like things aren't going well financially, we can feel a sense of shame, or we can react to that in ways that are not healthy. Remember that shame comes from not understanding your identity or trying to place your identity in something that it's not, and we can feel shame. But our identity doesn't change based on how much money we have in our bank account or how much debt we have. Our identity comes from Christ. And so don't just who you are as a person, and that you are valued. And that is regardless of your financial status. And so we talked about that too. So you can keep those things in mind. We also, an announcement for next month. We decided next month, that May 21st, when we meet, will be the 2-year anniversary of the tornado. And we've been holding community conversations ever since then. And so we'll have some space to talk about just how we're experiencing that anniversary, and the being in springtime again and storm season, and talk about if there are things that we still seem to need around our community or as individuals, things that we are, or households that we're noticing that we need. We'll have some conversation around that. Also, a month last time we met, we talked about getting out and meeting our neighbors, and I ordered these cookie and brownie mixes, and I still have a few left. So if you want some, please let me know, and I can get them dropped off to you. Just some peanut butter cookie ones. So, all right, that was our community conversation tonight. Thanks to everyone who came, and to anyone who wasn't able to be there. We are glad to be able to offer this recap. So see you next month.